Good morning, and welcome back to Daily Dhamma, a letter to our children. I'm Dhamma Bum, and I'll be your guide for today's guided meditation. It is Monday, April 20th, and our theme today will be patient, persistent practice of the principles. And especially, we want to connect that to anger. Just a reminder, April is sincerity, and that's part of Mrs. Dhamma's recipe for life. Our 4 quarters are humility, sincerity, effort, and gratitude. And April is sincerity. We'd ask people or encourage people to check the description boxes for this and other episodes. There's some information about meditation in there. Mondays, we look to the coming week. There are things we'll probably meet that we're going to need to be prepared for, and so that's what we're looking at today. We do guided meditation in the hopes that participants will develop an interest in or pick up some skills in meditation on your own bat, in your own home, in your own garden, using bird songs or chanting or other guided meditations. There are millions of them around. And in about 24 hours, there will be a closed caption version with a transcript available. As usual, we start with samatha or serenity. That's the first part of meditation, get calm. And then the second part is panya. Some people say vipassana, wisdom, but it always goes in that direction. First we wise up. First we get calm, then we wise up. It never goes the other way. Wisdom never arises from a mind in turmoil. So with that, thanks to y'all, and on my mark. Please find yourself in a quiet spot, spine straight, shoulders back. Lower your chin. Let your hands rest in your lap or on your thighs or your knees. Close your eyes and your mouth gently and imagine a ball of white light, an inch or two, 3 to 5 centimeters below your nostrils. Breathe in through your nose. Watch it go down past your heart to your stomach and back out the same way. Breathe in through your nose. Watch it go down past your heart to your stomach and back out the same way. When outside thoughts or issues intrude, gently brush them aside, thinking, no, that's not my business. I'm focused on my breath as I breathe in through my nose. Watch it go down past my heart to my stomach and back out the same way. Now on Mondays, we always start with the Dhammapada, verses 1 and 2. Mind is the forerunner of all things. Think and act with a corrupt heart, and sorrow will follow, as surely as the cart follows the ox that pulls it. Mind is the forerunner of all things. Think and act with a pure heart, and happiness follows, as surely as one's never departing shadow. So we are taught that our mind creates our moods, our delusions, our obsessions, which are all impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not the self. We meditate to calm our mind and tame our heart. We look at our thoughts, we examine them, we see them for what they are, and we let them go. If we let go a little, we get a little serenity. If we let go a lot, we get a lot of serenity. And if we let go completely, that is, if we accept life on life's terms, we find complete serenity. Now, we need to say a word about the human condition. Our existence consists of 5 khandhas, or clinging aggregates, and they are our body, our feelings, memories and perceptions, thoughts, and consciousness. And these too are impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not the self. They are like a lump of molten lead, too hot to touch. We cannot touch them on the top or on the sides or on the bottom. We look at them and we let them go. Now, please join me in a thought experiment. In your mind's eye, lift up above your head and look down on your skull. And on the right, you will see your monkey mind. And it's very busy. You can see the colors change with the mood from blue to pink to white to red to black, never steady, never still, always shifting. And on the left, we can see a battalion of self-licking ice cream cones. These are our thoughts, and they are very busy, mostly sucking up to our monkey mind and trying to please it. So if we feel okay, they try to make us feel giddy. If we feel bad, they remind us of every mistake we've ever made, like that. And these, our monkey mind and our thoughts are very, very unstable, and we need to brush them aside. They're all busy trying to attach to stuff. What we need to do is to slow down, take time, and remain mindful. Now, as meditators, we have 3 duties today now: mindfulness, collectedness, and contentment. In this group, mindfulness, we pay attention to the light. We listen to the Dhamma talk, not to get attached to the Dhamma talk, but to let the words wash over us and seep into our consciousness. We practice collectedness. Some people say concentration. This just means when these outside thoughts stirred up by our monkey mind arise, we gently brush them aside and go, no, that's not my business. I'm focused on my breath as it goes in through my nose, down past my heart to my stomach, and back out the same way. And our last duty is contentment. We have a responsibility to be at peace now, to be content. So, in a word, you could say mindfulness, collectedness, and contentment. In a word, unperturbed. And if we can be unperturbed for a few seconds during this meditation, then as we go through our week, we can remain unperturbed, and we just stick together those little packets of patience, and shazam, it's like magic. We look up and we go, wow, I haven't been restless, irritable, fearful for a couple of hours. How did that happen? How indeed. As we go through this week, we have 4 tips. One, let's be impeccable in our speech. Let's say what we mean what we say, but don't say it mean. 2, let's not assume. When I assume, I make an ass of you and me. Third, Q-tip, quit taking it personally. Whatever else the universe might be, whatever else it's got going on, it doesn't have time to ruin my week or Mrs. Dhamma's week or anybody else's week. And finally, let's just do our best, shall we? Now, as we enter Panya, the second part of our meditation, again, we return to Dhammapada. Don't, verses 210, verse 210, don't get entangled with what you long for or dislike. Not seeing what you long for is suffering. So also is seeing what you dislike. Aversions are as much an addiction as any narcotic. You go, I hate those guys, those needle nose schmoes. They've ruined everything. If only we were rid of them, my life would be perfect. Those are aversions. Craving is just as bad. I gotta have it. Now we're looking at patience, and patience means controlling our anger, and anger is what fear looks like when it's trying to hide. So let's keep an eye on our fear in order to remain unperturbed this week. And there are 4 versions of FEAR we want to call to your attention. The first one is false evidence appearing real. Until we study our mind, we just don't know it, which means I can't tell true from false. My mind conjures up sights, sounds, smells, tastes, tactile sensations, sensual desires, and it wants me to think that they are real, but these are illusions, delusions, the 5 Khandhas, and they are all impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not the self. They are not real. They just exist in my mind. Books, movies, comments of others, social media, my imagination produces the same reaction, the same chemical reaction in my body as if these things were real, and causes the body to release hormones, chemicals that cause physical and emotional responses as if something were actually going on. And we say, oh, that's not true. Yeah, it is. The movie, the gambling, the porn, and the social media industries make billions and billions of dollars on this. They're in the imagination business. Unfortunately, no one involved in these businesses gives a rip about the divine spark in anyone else. And this is why we meditate. We meditate to calm the mind and tame the heart. Our practice will strengthen our discernment, which will help us sort out what's real. Then we can pause and recall that these mental formations are impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not the self. And then we can act accordingly. And I'll give you an example. If I get a note from one of my kids and it says no thanks, that does not mean I hate you. It means no thanks. So when we're looking at written information, let's just stick with the black bits. What do you say? Same when people are talking with us. If they say no thanks, that's what they said. What I hear is, I hate you. I don't want anything to do with you. Well, that's not right. So we need to rein that in. Our second version of FEAR, forget everything and run. And this is just the fight or flight response. Rage is a pretty good indication that I'm scared to death. Now, when we or someone we are talking to seems to be in the grip of that kind of anger, maybe we could step back from the situation, see if we can discern what the fear actually is. Sometimes it's as simple as me not wanting to look as ridiculous as my temper tantrum makes me look. Sometimes. Sometimes it's more complicated than that. Either way, I can pause and observe, the mind is releasing the kraken. I can smirk at that and let it go. Our third version of FEAR, and I think this is probably our favorite one, face everything and recover. You know, when the horse throws us, it doesn't matter whether we use too much spur or maybe the horse just doesn't like me, or if there was a great big rattlesnake in the grass. Doesn't matter. When we fall, whether it's by our own mistakes or by circumstances beyond our control, We can either run away or we can face facts. Now, facing things is tough sometimes, but when life throws us, we need to get back on. It's up to us. This is the way life is. We are going to fall time to time. Getting back up is a choice. Now, it's also true that sometimes we're just gripped by fear and we do whatever we do doesn't get rid of it. Okay. In that case, we'll just have to do things scared. Let's buck up. And our last version we owe to a buddy. You know who you are. We won't out you. FEAR. Forgetting everything is all right. Now, dealing with life requires radical acceptance and gratitude. We have heard it said, and we believe it's all going to be okay in the end. If it's not all right, it's not the end. So there's that. Tanha in Pali means insatiable hunger, and it leads to suffering. So as we go through this week, here are some aids, not only in meditation, but as we go through our life. Number one, metta. Let's project loving feelings, unconditional positive regard. Love, in other words. Metta with 2 T's. Let's practice generosity of the spirit. That's not giving alms to the poor, but giving other people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they didn't mean it that way. Maybe they're having a tough day. Let's practice kindness and helpfulness, sati, or mindfulness. Let's recall this style of meditation is called anapanasati, which is mindfulness of breathing. Sampajana, self-awareness. Who am I? What am I thinking? What can I take with me? And selfless service to all. So this week, as we go through our days, if we find ourselves restless, irritable, or discontent, let's take a breath, step into the next room, close the door, put our earphones in, cue up this recording. Imagine a ball of light an inch or two below our nostrils. Breathe in through our nose. Watch it go down past our heart to our stomach and back out the same way. Namaste. Okay. Thank you very much for coming. I'd like to give a special thanks to Mrs. Dhamma for the flower arrangement as usual, to Dhamma G, Brian, Mike, Sam, Ediko, Mitsuko, Neko, all the other little co's. We'll be back here on Friday, April 24th at 3:45 p.m. Japan time. It's Japan time and we don't change our clocks. So we'd love to have you join us, but we don't keep track of world falderall with clock changing. If you're already here, you know how to get here. If not, if you're listening to this afterwards, which most people do, check Daily Dhamma for today, April 20th. In the description box, it gives you the steps for how to enter. And if this was useful, please subscribe, give us a like, a comment, share with others, or consider giving us a super thanks. And thank you very much for coming, and have a wonderful week, will you? Namaste.